world-class super welterweight boxing. In the blue corner, wearing green trunks with white trim, standing 5 feet 10 inches tall at 149 1/4 pounds. His professional record, 23 victories, 3 losses, and 1 draw. Here's the former welterweight champion of England, Kirkland Laing. Laing. In the red corner, standing 5 feet 8 1/2 inches tall at 155 pounds. His professional record, 74 victories, 3 losses. From Panama, here's the former welterweight champion of the world, the hands of stone, Roberto Duran.
Bobby Watson, the referee for this bout, scheduled for 10 rounds. He's giving them the final instructions. Here in Michigan, they'll score by the 10-point must system. Free knockdown rule is in effect. This is a 24-foot ring. Plenty of room for both of these junior middleweights. Duran checked in at 155. Laing at 149 1/4. Laing, the former welterweight champion of Great Britain, really a beefed-up welterweight. Mickey Duff is the manager and trainer in his corner. Laing in the green trunks, Duran in the red. Between rounds, we'll have Luis Enrique to tell us what's going on in Duran's corner. And so, Bobby Watson gives the signal. There's the first bell, and we're underway. Round 1. Kirkland Laing about 1.5 inches taller than Duran. He told me this afternoon he will be too quick for Duran. Well, we'll see.
And I thought already an interesting gesture from Duran. He reached out to tap gloves with Laing. I've never seen him do that in a fight. A gentlemanly gesture on his part.
Lang's first punch was a jab and right on the button.
And in his comeback fights since that Leonard fight and also the Benitez fight, Duran has been much more cautious in early rounds than he was as a lightweight and as a welterweight.
Laing spinning away from Duran's power. Hands of stone that produced 55 knockouts.
And Laing will need to use that jab and land it effectively, something fighters find difficult to do because one of the great attributes of Duran, often overlooked, is that he slip punches very well.
Roberto seemingly wants to go to the body here in the opening round. Laing continues to spin away, throws out a left hand. Right hand, countering right by Duran, and that caught Laing on the head.
However, early in this fight, we noticed Duran lunging with the right hand already, a tactic that really hurt him in his second fight against Leonard and against Benitez as well.
Well, he's got a lunge if the guy isn't there. Laing looking to hit and run, takes a right to the body. Neither fighter really established any kind of tempo or rhythm, being overly cautious. And in that regard, I would think that Laing is the more cautious of the two. Less than a minute to go in the opening round.
And Laing is using all of this 24-foot ring, and this is a boxer's ring.
Left hook by Duran, and that caught Laing on the right side of the face. You can count the punches on both hands here in the opening round.
Well, Laing's landed 3 or 4 jabs. Duran, 1 or 2 left hooks, and that's been about it.
Final seconds of the opening round. Couple of left hands by Laing. Duran misses badly with the left hand. So far, he hasn't been able to reach Laing. This is a little bit of elusive.
And when he lunged with that right hand, Laing hit him with the counter left. So that's something to look for.
You know what's missing in Duran? The sneer. I don't see the sneer on his face.
Well, he looked docile at the beginning of this fight, and so far his timing is woefully off. But it's early.
An inconclusive first round, as Laing was content on really staying away from Duran.
Sí, tranquilo, tranquilo. No le ponga hielo ni nada, tranquilo.
fight. The corner of Duran a little bit overcrowded. One of the inspectors told him 2 in the ring and 2 outside the ring. They got a quorum in there, a big meeting. Well, some confusion in the corner of Roberto Duran, and we're waiting to get a little interpretation on what's going on in there. Of course, they want some combinations. They want some combinations from Duran, and we'll find out what was just said from Luis Enrique. Luis?
First of all, his instructor, Nestor Quinones, told him to follow and cut the ring much faster and get to work fast with him. As you may see now, he's getting closer to the boxer right now.
Duran having some trouble with his footing there as we begin round 2. You heard the voice of Luis Enrique translating what occurred in the corner of Duran between rounds. It's scheduled for 10. At some point, Laing has to stop running and he has to start fighting. I'm sure Duran expected this, but he has to be patient, wait him out. He has seen this tactic before.
Well, I think eventually Laing will stop. Laing is the kind of guy who likes to punch in bunches when he does punch. Right now, of course, he wants to frustrate Duran. He's also frustrating this crowd here at Cobo Arena.
Kirkland Laing, the 28-year-old from Great Britain, the former welterweight champion of Britain, in the green trunks, being booed by the crowd because they want him to get it on. Duran trying to cut off the ring.
Now, early in that first round, Laing was using the jab rather effectively. While he was moving, he was also punching. In this round, he's not throwing one punch.
Duran throws a right hand. He missed as Laing spun out of the way. We're halfway through round 2.
Well, this second round's been the Kirkland Laing Invitational track meet. Very little action from him offensively.
Actually, he's not tiring out Duran at all. Because Duran is not throwing punches. He's just stalking him. If that's his tactic to tire out Duran, it's not going to work. Less than a minute to go in the second round. Left to the body by Laing. And he's tied up by Duran. I'm surprised that Laing isn't using his jab. He's got a quick jab.
And in the first round, he landed it 3 or 4 times very effectively.
Now Laing more flat-footed as we're in the final seconds of round 2. Right hand by Duran, right on the button. Laing with the left-right combination, and that right hand cracked on Duran's face. Duran with a right, and Laing comes back with a countering right hand. And Laing muscles Duran onto the rope. Well, it's starting to heat up, and we'll be back in Detroit. We're into round 3. That's Roberto Duran stalking Kirkland Laing, who ran for most of the first 2 rounds. And this is what Mickey Duff, his manager, had to say.
You can't run without throwing punches. You're going to start throwing some punches. You know, this is not England.
Mickey Duff saying, this is not England. You can't run. You got to throw punches. Duran with a right hand. Laing with a right uppercut. I know, Al, it was difficult for you to score the first 2 rounds.
Well, I gave Duran, actually I scored the first one even because I didn't think there was much going on. The second round, I gave it to Duran on the strength of the fact that he landed a couple of punches, but not much going on in those 2 rounds. Things are indeed heating up now. And perhaps Mickey Duff's words to Laing will take hold and he will stand and fight with Duran a little bit.
Well, Mickey also made another excellent remark. He said, everything you're throwing, you're connecting with. You might as well throw punches.
That's absolutely right. He's landed some good jabs, and when he follows with the straight right, he can land that too. So he has been accurate.
Laing is inclined to mix it up with Duran, and now we will have a fight. Halfway through the third round, the question remains, can Duran handle the speed of Kirkland Laing? We don't know much about Laing as a heavy hitter, but we know he's quick. And so far, the missing element in Duran's performance is he has not been a busy fighter when he's inside. That was his trademark of both a lightweight and a welterweight. We don't see that hand speed at 154 pounds. And Duran looks a bit tentative, too. And good left hook by Laing, and he is landing what he's throwing, Sal. A left hook by Duran before they grapple for Bobby Watson, the referee. Kirkland Laing's got the opportunity of a lifetime here if he pulls an upset.
I think the punch Laing has to watch out for is the overhand right from Duran. Duran hit him with it early, and that's the one punch I think Laing might be susceptible to.
Final seconds of round 3. Kirkland Laing with all kinds of success with the left hand. He just wrapped Duran with a left-right combination. Duran came back with a right hand of his own. We'll continue with more. You're watching Saturday Night at the Fight. We're looking into round 4. Roberto Duran against Kirkland Laing here at Cobo Arena in Detroit, scheduled for 10 rounds. Laing did some running in the first 2 rounds, but he's been mixing it up with Duran and not doing too badly either. Seated with me here at ringside, Louis Enrique, our translator.
Yes, Sal, 2 things that we notice right now. Kirkland is coming to fight a little more because of what instructions he got from his corner from Mickey Duff. And second, Duran is making sure he cut him more precisely and more accurate than prior rounds.
You mean cut off the ring on him?
Cut off the ring, correct.
Louis Enrique. So we're in the 4th now. Laing in the green takes a right hand from Duran. Overhand right. Patented shot from the legend.
Well, Louis Enrique is right. Laing has come to fight, but I think in that last round, the fact is he fought better than Duran, and he's been more of an accurate puncher, I think, in this fight so far, especially in that 3rd round. Very precise with his jab and his straight right hand.
Duran's got a bit of a mouse on his left cheekbone right underneath the left eye. And he could be suffering from some ring rust. He hasn't fought since January 30th.
And I think that is a problem for him in this fight. And one of his great attributes that I mentioned, the ability to slip punches, has not been there tonight.
And it seems like Laing is gaining more confidence as we go on. He just hit Duran with a left-right combination on the head. Duran with a left hook from the blind side. Could have been his best punch of the fight thus far.
But Kirkland Laing did not move backwards. He blinked, but he's still there. And what we're not seeing is combination punching from Duran. Good right hand by Kirkland Laing.
A lead right, and that tagged Duran on the chin. Duran had him cornered. Laing shoots a right hand and gets out of the corner. And Kirkland Laing doing everything just right so far. Less than a minute to go in the round.
And I think that last right hand really hurt Roberto Duran, and there is a mouse under his left eye. No question about that. Kirkland Laing isn't running now.
They trade right hands, and now we got ourselves a brawl. Laing isn't running anymore. And still looking for the Duran sneer. It is not there. Left hand by Laing, and Duran was driven sideways. Right hand by Laing.
And when Roberto Duran backs up, he is not the same fighter as when he comes forward. He's not used to backing up. He doesn't fight well that way. But Kirkland Laing is being very careful. He still is wary of Duran's power.
The street fighter from Panama is being tagged by the unknown from Great Britain, and we'll be back. Laing in the green trunks tagged Duran with a right hand right there. It was the best moment for Kirkland Laing in this fight. He's really come on strong. Now we're back to round 5. A right hand by Duran, and he catches Laing. And a good opportunity for us to bring in Louis Enrique.
Yes, there was very important factors involved in the corner just now. They sent Duran to fight. because this guy may be able to want to take the fight away from Duran. So right now, they're making Duran go out to fight, make him stop as much as possible, and just start throwing punches.
Well, there's no question now that Duran has to carry the fight to Laing, because Laing is gaining all kinds of confidence. Let's listen in on what Mickey Duff told Kirkland Laing between rounds.
It was fantastic. You boxed like the welterweight champion of the world. You made him look stupider that round than Sugar Ray Leonard did. Kirk, it's your night. He's got nothing left. He's a fucking old man that go out and take advantage of it.
We beg your pardon for the profanity, but Kirkland Laing is doing a rat-a-tat-tat on Roberto Duran, and Mickey Duff is exuding all kinds of confidence for his guy.
Well, the fact is there was very little technical advice given in between that round, but what Duff wanted to get across to Laing was, you belong in the ring with this fella.
Hard jab there by Laing. Yet another one. The one variable you can't bet against in any sport is speed, and speed is what is now Roberto Duran's biggest opponent. Duran can certainly fight, but speed is beating him, and Laing scores again with a right hand. And suddenly, it looks uphill for Roberto Duran.
And the rap against Kirkland Laing has been that he has not always trained properly. He admits it. He says, I'm a playboy. He said, I have not always trained well, but I'm in the best condition of my life. As this fight wears on, we'll get a chance to see. Right now, he looks in excellent shape.
Meanwhile, for all his razzle-dazzle, Kirkland Laing has to be wary of Duran's power. And he connects again with two jabs on Duran's face.
And when Laing doubles up with the jab, he's so effective.
Duran with a right hand, and Laing came back with his own right hand. And Duran really walloped him, but Laing didn't move. We're in round 5. Right hand by Laing. The lead right hand caught Duran on the face. Final seconds, round 5. Laing with a left hook to the head. Laing with a short right hand. We're halfway through the scheduled 10-rounder. And Duran's comeback looms large. Al Marciano with Al Bernstein ringside at Cobo Arena in Detroit. Round 6 scheduled for 10. Kirkland Laing in the green, Roberto Duran in the red. Al, how do you have it scored?
I've got this fight in favor of Kirkland Laing, 49-47. I gave the last 2 rounds to, in fact, I've given the last 3 rounds to Kirkland Laing.
And he scores with a right hand on the head of Duran. The last 3 rounds, he stopped running, started fighting, and he's been outpointing Duran as far as we see it. Let's get Louis Enrique on microphone. Louis, what's going on in Duran's corner?
Well, first of all, I would say in the fight, I think Duran is standing up too much. I think we should go more at him, faster at him, and press him a little harder. We understand he doesn't take too much of a punch, but if you don't hit him, you're not going to find out. So I think right now what Duran should do is be a little more mobile and get more action with his punches.
Louis Enrique. Now Duran, I think, senses that he's behind, and this fight is being out-punched by the speedier Kirkland Laing. So what is he going to do about it? He's got to take the fight to Laing.
Well, Duran has not gotten inside very much, and when he is there, now we see him there. He needs to be busy. He needs to be busier, but he's not. He's not punching to the body or to the head. And Ray Arcel in his corner told him to punch to the body. Good right by Laing.
He caught Duran out of position. This does not look anything like the Roberto Duran of last January 30th when he went the full 15 rounds with Wilfred Benitez. He lost that fight, but he looked a lot better than this. We're halfway through round 6. And of course, this is little resemblance of the Roberto Duran who won the welterweight championship in 1980 in Montreal when he beat Sugar Ray Leonard. Duran with a right hand, and Laing holds on.
And I think the big difference is that he is not punching in combination. He's just not aggressive enough when he's inside. He throws one punch and stops.
A right hand by Laing. Laing with a left hand. Duran with much more action here in the 6th. Right hand by Duran, a left hook by Laing.
And Duran is there to be hit with that jab, but there's a good right hand by Duran.
Duran's best punch of the fight, a big right hand, but Kirkland Laing is clear-eyed. This is where Duran wants Laing, on the inside. But Laing is tying him up very well. We're late in the 6th round. Duran with a right hand, but a glancing blow. Less than 20 seconds to go. That right hand over the head of Laing. You're watching Saturday Night at the Place on ESPN. Round 7, Roberto Duran, Kirkland Laing. Kirkland Laing had 3 very good rounds. He seems to be a little bit off in the 6th round. He took a bit of a breather, and Roberto Duran had a mild rally.
And we're heading into the portion of the fight where conditioning is important for both fighters. We know Laing is not always trained well. For Duran, after well over 70 fights and at the age of 31, his stamina for a 10-rounder may be questionable. So we have to take a long look at these fighters as we head into the last part of this fight.
Duran having difficulty with Lang's left hand. He is scoring with the jab, and he drilled him a couple of times with left hooks. There's a triple jab by Laing.
No head movement from Duran, and he is standing too straight up, which Luis Enrique mentioned earlier. No head movement. He's not bending at the waist. That's the Duran we've seen before.
Kirkland Laing having his way. And he continues to be there first.
And he's even bullying Duran around the ring, and that's something we're not used to seeing anyone do.
I still don't see the sneer on Duran's face. That was his trademark, and it's gone.
I think instead it's been replaced by some self-doubt.
A right hand by Laing, and that caught Duran flush on the jaw. We're halfway through the 7th. A hard jab by Laing. Al, Duran's really slowed down this round.
He has slowed the tempo tremendously. The last round I gave him by the barest of margin. Oh, big uppercut by Laing. But now Duran has stopped.
Duran flat-footed. Not doing anything this round. Less than a minute to go in the 7th. Mickey Duff, the manager of Kirkland Laing, said this is the biggest opportunity of your life. Don't blow it.
And for the remainder of this round, if I was Kirkland Laing, I'd try and box Duran. I would not stand inside with him, which he was doing before. Duran is still dangerous inside.
Duran, moments ago, caught Laing with a lead right, nothing on it. He just hit him with the left, nothing on that punch either. Duran must feel he's in some kind of a nightmare. Got this youngster smothering him, quicker than him, and he can't get the right balance. He can't get the right leverage. And that has a lot to do with ring wear and age. And maybe we are seeing the end of a legend. But meanwhile, it's only the end of the 7th round. And maybe Duran can pull back some magic.
Before you paint any surface, prepare it with pre-painting supplies.
In the previous round, the 7th, Kirkland Laing with a right hand that caught Duran out of position. Back live for round 8. It's scheduled for 10. Duran with a thunderous right hand. He caught Laing, who holds on.
Now let's see what that did to Kirkland Laing, if anything. Duran did not follow with any more punches.
Al, a lot of long faces in the corner of Roberto Duran. They're worried about this fight.
As well they should be. This fight has reminiscent of the first 4 or 5 rounds of the comeback fight against Nino Gonzalez in Cleveland. Duran looked much like this, although he came back to win that fight.
To find out what's going on in the corner, Roberto Duran is Luis Enrique.
Actually, Sal, I was not close to the corner. I was looking for his wife. She sent for me. But what I noticed is that he is somewhat slower in the whole fight. And that doesn't look too good right now. And it's somewhat out of proportion. But my feeling is that he should continue hitting to the body because the fellow is fast. And he knows what he's doing many times. So I think it's difficult to catch him with a solid punch.
And he's caught Laing with 2 right hands here in round 8. Laing has not moved back a step. Laing takes the left hand from Duran. crowd here in Detroit, sensing an upset, is really alive with excitement. They booed Laing in the second round for running. They're not booing anymore.
Well, Mickey Duff delivered a stern lecture after that second round, and since then, Kirkland Laing has been a different fighter. And one of the big problems is the timing for Duran. His timing is just so far off.
Duran with bruises underneath his left eye and above his left eye. He's not cut. They're red welts about his left eye. I don't remember seeing any fighter with this much braggadocio as Kirkland Laing bullying Roberto Duran around the ring and tagging him.
Well, he's landing some sharp punches, Kirkland Laing.
A left hand by Laing. And Duran continues to try and take him out with a punch. He just caught Laing with a right hand. Duran's arms look very heavy. Less than 30 seconds to go in the round. Duran with a left hook, no steam on the punch. He's trying. Duran's trying to take him out. But Laing is smothering him. Laing pushes him off. Duran swimming in a tide of trouble.
You play your video recordings a lot. You need a more durable.
Champ is here. Larry Holmes at ringside as he watches Roberto Duran take a right hand from Kirkland Laing as we begin round 9. Al, how much do you have Laing ahead by?
I've got Laing ahead 78-75. Now, what effect will Duran's reputation have on the judges here? That's a good question. Because some of these rounds are reasonably close. While I've got many of them for Laing, you could make a case for an even round or possibly even one for Duran.
Kirkland Laing shoots a right hand and catches Duran on the head.
Now, Mickey Duff told Laing in between rounds, he said, don't feint so much. Just throw punches. You can hit them.
Duran with a lead right caught Laing, but no trouble there for Kirkland. Kirkland with a double jab. Laing came here from England unheralded, despite the fact that he held the British welterweight title for 1 year. Right hand by Laing. This is the next to last round. Mickey Duff told Laing in his corner, I don't want a decision. Take him out.
And to put this performance in perspective by Duran, the man he's fighting is a good welterweight and a pretty good junior middleweight. So he's not fighting Sugar Ray Leonard. He's only fighting a pretty good fighter.
We're halfway through the night. I think it's safe to say Duran needs a knockout to win.
Well, that's our estimation at this point.
Duran with a left, right, nothing there. And there's a bit of swelling underneath Duran's left eye now. Duran takes a right hand as he pushes forward. And perhaps his longtime manager, Carlos Alada, was right. Last January 30th, after Duran lost to Benitez in Las Vegas, Alada told Duran to quit, to forget it, it's over. He did enough. But Duran continued on, and Alada is no longer his manager. Right hand by Duran. That used to be the electricity, but there's no more power there.
That had no effect on Kirkland Laing, and I'll tell you, Roberto Duran may be there to be taken right now. He can be hit with the left and the straight right anytime Kirkland Laing throws it.
When did you ever see anybody handle Duran so easily? Right hand by Laing. Coming up, the 10th and final round, and perhaps the final round of Duran's career.
Aliens have taken over the earth. Every moving vehicle is there.
The 10th and final round in Detroit. Roberto Duran and Kirkland Laing. Roberto Duran obviously behind on all cards. Gotta be. Laing has been too quick for him. And Duran needs some magic here in the 10th round to pull it out. Al, how do you have it on your unofficial card?
There it is, 88-84 for Laing. We don't know how the judges are seeing it, but I'll tell you, I'll be surprised if they have Roberto Duran ahead in this fight.
No knockdowns in the fight, no cuts. There have been a couple of welts underneath the eye of Duran, his left eye. Laing looks especially fresh. And Duran with his hands low now in the center of the ring, looking to take him out.
And here's the time in the fight when I think Laing should double up and triple up on that jab. Good straight right hand. That's the punch that will keep Duran on his back on his heels.
The Warrior in red continues on. And he's being outpunched here by a quicker man.
And Roberto Duran should be fighting this 10th round like his life is at stake, at least his boxing life, because it is, but we're not seeing it.
Not a good performance by the two-time world champion. And Laing takes a big right hand from Duran, but he's not hurt.
And he landed 3 jabs while Duran was throwing that right.
Halfway through the last round. A right hand by Laing. Roberto Duran has lost only 3 times in 77 fights. He has got an uphill struggle tonight.
And there is no firepower at all in those punches Duran's throwing. And there's a big right by Kirkland Laing.
Maybe Laing's best punch. He threw big right hands early in the fight, but that was a wicked shot. And Duran is just grappling here. Takes a right hand from Laing. And Duran's knees buckled just a few moments ago. He's pushing forward, not throwing any punches. It's all Laing here in the last round.
And there doesn't appear to be anything left from Roberto Duran.
Duran with one big right hand right there, and Laing didn't even move. Less than 30 seconds to go in the fight.
If Laing can stay upright, he should win this fight, the biggest win in his career.
I don't want to remember Duran this way. I want to remember him as the lightweight champion that had a stranglehold in that division for 7 years. He doesn't look good as a junior middleweight. At 31 years of age, it may be all over for Hands of Stone.
Are they happy in Kirkland Laing's corner? Mickey Duff in the far left exuded him throughout the fight. That young man has got to believe that he is only a few minutes away from getting a decision that could really launch his boxing career at the advanced age of 28.
Unofficially, how do you have it?
I had the fight 98-93 for Kirkland Laing. Pretty big margin. The judges may have it closer, but it was hard to imagine him winning by less, or certainly Duran winning.
I thought he won 8 of the 10 rounds. I thought Laing took 8 of the 10 rounds. Well, we'll have the official arithmetic for you in just a few moments. And the looks on everyone's faces really are hinting at what is the bottom line here. Mickey Duff and the entourage in the Kirkland Laing corner all smiles, while there are long faces in Duran's corner.
And Louis Enrique was sitting here at ringside with us, showed some genuine emotion of sadness as he watched Roberto Duran, not the man he had been with for years and years and gone through all those glory days with.
Legends die hard.
And it's sad to see him go out this way, if in fact that's the case. For Kirkland Laing, a beginning at the age of 28. Hasn't always trained, he admits that. Hasn't always given his all in fights, but tonight he was there. And I'll tell you, they worried about his stamina over 10 rounds. He was just as fresh in the 10th.
We'll have the official decision.
Board of Athletic controls the 10-point must system. The decision of the judges. Judge Bernard Humphrey scores it 96 Duran, 95 Laing. Judge Stuart Kirshenbaum scores it 96 Laing, 94 Duran. Judge Nate McAlpine scores it, 96 Laing, 94 Duran. The winner by a split decision, Kirkland Laing. Laing, the split decision winner.
A lot closer than most people thought. Only a split decision for Kirkland Laing, as two judges, Kirshenbaum and McAlpine, had it 96-94 for Laing, while Humphrey had Duran winning 96-95. At any rate, Kirkland Laing with a split decision over Roberto Duran. For Laing, obviously the biggest victory of his career. For Roberto Duran, only his fourth loss, and Duran is already leaving the ring. It's all over. He loses on a split decision, but everybody got their money's worth, and I think everybody's really, in a way, a bit saddened by the fact that Duran is no longer the legend. You're watching Saturday.